John, what do you think some positives are that Iowa State can take from the Iowa game?
Well, it's over, for one. I mean, I think the last drive does help a little bit emotionally to know that you did get in the end zone. Uh, Hopefully, carry some of that over into this week. But really, there aren't many positives that come out of that game. I think the quicker you forget about it and move on, the better off you are. This team had a remarkable ability a year ago to do that, to bounce back after losses. They were 4-2 after losses. If they can find a way to do that again, have that strength of will to be that way this year, it's going to be huge for this team because with the challenges that lie ahead on this schedule, they're going to have to be resilient like that. And I think Paul's a good guy to get him in the right frame of mind going forward.
Losing middle linebacker Matt Taffa, how is that going to affect, in your mind, do you think, what's going to happen?
Well, I think it hurts especially when you're going against a run-oriented team like Kansas State. You know, if you were going to go play a Texas Tech this week, I don't think it'd be as big of a deal. Face a little more pass-oriented offense because you're going to play a lot of nickel anyway. And I think we'll see a lot of nickel. This is the first week that Iowa State has its full secondary at its disposal. They didn't have David Sims week one and didn't have Taran Benton in week two. So I think that's good to see the whole secondary intact because I think that should be a strength of this defense. But losing Matt Tuffle, you have to all of a sudden move A.J. Klein over to a position he hasn't been playing. I think he'll adapt pretty well to that eventually. But then you've got to put guys on the field that maybe weren't ready for a starting role. We'll see. I think Matt Morton's a very tough kid. He's been great on special teams for the last 2 years, but I don't know how much they'll play him or if they'll just say, okay, let's just go nickel most of the time. But if they do go nickel most of the time, that's where getting Taran Benton back in there really makes a difference because I thought his strength was against the run. When he plays in that nickel package, I think he's pretty good against the run. So I think you'll see Iowa State have a much better defensive effort this week.
What about Daniel Thomas is Kansas State's big running back, one of the best running backs in the country. Just talk about him, what you can
Great
remember
running
from
back,
him.
yeah, he's slippery and but at the same time strong. Kind of one of those guys that doesn't try to juke a lot. He just gets it and goes, finds a hole, and relies on his blockers to give him some space. And once he gets a little crease, he's really good at maximizing the run. He's a good running back, and Iowa State's going to have to try to slow him down so that they can make Kaufman try to beat them. Kaufman's had a very good year so far. Maybe a little bit surprisingly, he's been really good. Last year he got beat out by Gregory, and this year he seems to be playing with a lot more confidence. So they're not as one-dimensional as I thought they were going to be. I thought they'd be a much more run-oriented team and not have that real good passing attack, but so far they've been able to do both. And I think they got a couple one transfer wide receiver in, and then Aubrey Quarles became eligible as well, and they've really improved their wide receivers, and I think that's a big reason why.
You talked about Iowa State being 4-2 in bounce-back games. Speaking of bounce-back, Austin Arnott, can you just talk about what you're expecting to see from him?
Well, I think he'll bounce back well. He's a strong-minded kid. He did that last year. You know, he did not play well against Iowa, and he came back and still had a great season. And I think he's very, very capable of coming back and playing well this week. And he'll have to. I mean, this is one where you're going to have to mix the run and the pass to have success. And if you can do that and win one at Arrowhead Stadium, which is a game that was supposed to be in Manhattan, it's like going and stealing a road win early in the conference season. It would be a huge lift for this team going forward. So Austin has to play well this week for Iowa State to win.
All right, John, thank you very much.
Thank you.